Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on 13 Now this evening. It's just before 7 p.m., 6:56 here on Monday, February 13th, one day before Valentine's Day. And if you looked outside today, it was very warm outside, very pleasant, but also unseasonably warm. And I'm going to bring in meteorologist Reid Kisselback to tell us. I feel like this is something that we've only talked about this winter season, is just how warm it is.
Yeah, I mean, that trend's going to continue into the week ahead where we could even potentially break a record or two. So if you're a fan of it, congratulations to you. If you are not, I'm very sorry. I also understand. Sometimes a little bit of snow gets missed in the wintertime. But we're getting closer to the point where if we're not going to get the snow now, we don't want it. So we're going to see
a few more weeks. How many weeks of winter do we have left?
If we're talking meteorological winter, that is done at the end of February. If we're talking more so astronomical winter, then we have until the spring.
But still, I mean, everyone that wants to go skiing and stuff like that or go to these winter events, they can't because it's just not the time for it.
Certainly a struggle, yeah, just because of all the mild temperatures we have in place. And we could take a look at our CDPHP first warning came out in Albany right now. You can see that is still fairly mild here as well. We'll show you just one sec. There we go. We'll show you it's at 43 degrees right now. A little bit of some spotty showers starting to push into our region. Not really going to add up to much. You can see some of the higher elevations of the Adirondacks, maybe parts of the Berkshires, Green Mountains could get a little bit some light snow. The valley floors, seeing a little bit of some spotty light rain. But again, not really on the big side. But overnight tonight, it will become a little bit more windy as that comes on through. And those winds will linger into the start of the day tomorrow. So as you send the kids out the door to school, winds of around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Not the strongest of winds, but certainly enough to make it feel a little bit colder than it actually is. And we're going to be starting out in the low 30s. Might feel like we're in the 20s when you head out the door. But plenty of sunshine expected for the day tomorrow. You can see the highs reaching once again into the 40s. Good day to be outside. If you have been holding off on exercising, you might be able to do that. But our next opportunity for some rain comes late Thursday into Friday. So you just saw this started out as rain overnight Thursday and stayed as rain overnight. But Friday, as we head out the door, 7 a.m., you could see parts of the Adirondacks, parts of the Mohawk Valley, starting to see that change over to snow. We quickly change over to snow as this clears out into the early afternoon. We're dry by your evening commute home. So we'll have an opportunity for some rain and a little bit of snow. Whether it's going to be a lot of snow is still yet to be determined just based on how quickly the system decides to pass on through. But at the current rate, we are still averaging as the least snowiest February. So right now, Albany Airport has only measured just a trace amount of snow. So in other words, not even 1/10 of an inch of snow. The least snowiest February is 1.3 inches. So it's not going to take much to get us there, but still something to just keep in mind. So we could use it. This might help us a little bit tonight. 32, mostly cloudy, breezy. Few rain and snow showers early on. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, and pleasant. Highs right towards the mid-40s. And then a mild week ahead. 55 on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, that rain coming on through. Thursday up to 58, but take a look at Friday. 52 for the high, down into the teens for our overnight low. And then Saturday, we're back up into the 30s before we, again, warm back up to around 50 by the start of next week. So a little bit of a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like as a meteorologist and as someone who grew up here, this is not normal. Have you seen something like this before?
I mean, there have been winters like this. Don't get me wrong. There's been a couple of times where you go, I kind of wish we had a little bit more of a winter.
To go skiing and
I mean, off the top of my head, I can't remember it being like as warm of January that we had that continued in February. Usually we would have like 1 month really warm, and so like the snowfall totals for the season were kind of just shot because of that. So it's a little bit more interesting right now to see it go not just through all of January, but even now halfway into February.
And we were all thinking as well, like, okay, when's the cold weather going to come? Everyone's like waiting for it, and then we'll get it for a day. And then it goes back to warm weather.
Yep. We'll have to see what happens for the rest of February, which still looks promisingly warm. And I mean, March is also still one that you have to keep in mind because we get all those big temperature swings.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, Reid, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. And because of this warmer weather that we're having, there's a lot of winter events that's being canceled. So the first one is Albany County. It's canceling its Winter Carnival, which was set to take place this coming Saturday at Lawson Lake. Then in Glens Falls, the fire and ice event scheduled for this Friday is now also canceled. Organizers say conditions on Grando Pond will not likely be what they need to host the ice skating they had planned. City officials say they've noticed melting spots on the water's edge and want to be safe. As they continue monitoring, we're also told they'll be posting no skating signs if too much of it melts away. And then in Vermont, they're also feeling the effects of this warmer weather. State officials warning residents to stay off the ice. Vermont State Police issuing the warning after 3 men died on Lake Champlain after falling through the ice. An ice fishing competition scheduled for this past weekend was canceled because of the unsafe conditions there. And then now the death toll from the earthquakes that hit Turkey and Syria has now surpassed 35,000 people. It's over a week ago now. And I want to bring in our reporter, Tia Penix. Yeah, you went to a local restaurant today in Troy, and they're looking for more help for the people in Syria and in Turkey.
That's right, Tessa. I spoke to the owner of the Turkish restaurant in Troy, and basically you could see the devastation and pain on his face. He does have ties. That's his hometown. He has family there. And we just talked. I just wanted his reaction to everything that happened. You know, that earthquake hit the country February 6th. That was Monday. And he just told me ever since it's been painstakingly heartbreaking. Each day he's hearing of another death. And so he basically talked about some of the efforts him and his business partners have already started. They have some donations going on, blankets. A lot of people are without homes right now. He said at this time they just need some support, you know, maybe financially. They do have a lot of blankets right now, but money probably would be more helpful. And again, you'll see more of that story tonight at 9 and 11. And you just notice the pain that he has in his face just talking about it.
And so he was born and raised in Syria or Turkey?
So we didn't get that deep in our interview as far as how long he was there. I know he's been upstate for about 5 months now, but before he moved here, he was down south in North Carolina. But he does have family there. He has friends. He tells me that some of his family is here with him, but he still has a lot of family back home. He also brought up an interesting point. He says we're all family. And he wants everybody to think about that when you see the images and you see how bad the suffering that people are dealing with. He wants everybody to feel connected and know that we're all tied in this together. Yeah. And that's the only way, he says, that people are going to be able to get through this if everyone comes together.
It's terrible what's happened there. I mean, with every passing day, we hear about new deaths. And I think all around the capital region, all around the country, people are willing to help. So hopefully we can get more donations for that man. And what is the name of his restaurant? So people are watching this or going to watch this later. Do you have the name of the restaurant?
The restaurant is the Grill Mediterranean Cuisine and Mega Instable Food Court. That's in Troy. They just opened recently. I want to say sometime in January. I can't remember the exact date, but it's fairly new. But he tells me even though they're new, he's had a lot of customers come in just to give their condolences and show support. So he was thankful and also surprised by the local support he's received from people.
Yeah, in times of disasters, everyone really comes together. All right. Well, Tia, thank you so much. And that does it for us on 13 Now this evening. It is 7:04, and we'll have more tonight live at 11 on News Channel 13 and then live at 9 on My 4. Have a great night, everyone.